Paul Master. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Master. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Master. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Master. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Master. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Yeah, buddy, that's right. Get exposure right now. Holler at the homie Paul Mash, man, for Paul Mash TV. Hit up Paul Mash TV across all social media sites, alright? Who we got next? Got next.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time. I'm Paul Mash, of course, and we got a great show lined up for you as usual. But before we do, thank you for all your fan mail and letters of kind words and so on that you've given us so lately. And if you'd like to be one of those that will do that, there's good old-fashioned email, of course. Go to paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And remember, that's not just for fan mail. That's for band and solo artist information on how to be on a show, and we'll give you that information. And go to Facebook, facebook.com/PaulMashTV. Feel free to like the page, inboxes, even comment on all the things you see on the page. We'd love to hear from you there. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube if you're watching this right now. Just hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell, and you'll always get the information, latest interviews whenever they become available. And all that will be recapped at the closing credits, so we hope that you'll stick around for that. Right now we have Supreme R.A. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. Very good hip-hop artist, and I think you'll agree once you hear the song. So without further ado, we'll do that, but first here's a word from Click Jam. Don't go away.
Whenever it's time to gas up, always keep in mind to dream big and go hard. Log on to clickjam.com and sign up today. And hey, you can always count on us. clickjam.com.
Well, it's that interview time again, and with us from Louisville, Kentucky, we have Supreme R.A. Thanks for joining us, Supreme.
Yo, peace, man. Thanks for having me, Paul, man. I appreciate you having me on the show. It's Supreme R.A, man. Straight to you.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you there. We've interviewed a few of your friends, Go Fresh to Dawn, obviously, Imperial Real Well, all those, and now we got you, so I'm sure it's going to be an awesome interview.
Yes, sir.
So why don't you start about, I usually start by asking you a question about how you got started. I mean, everybody has their own story about how they got started in the music business. I'm sure you have your own story, so let's hear it.
All right, indeed, man. Well, what I'm saying, I'm a late 70s baby. Music meant a lot to me, hearing my hearing my mother, hearing a lot of my folks, playing a lot of stuff from BET, MTV. I got caught on with listening to Michael Jackson, and then Yo MTV Raps. When I started hearing Yo MTV Raps, I heard Run DMC, I heard the Beastie Boys, I heard the Fat Boys, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and probably in the late 80s, that's when I started to actually just start rapping. I just started to say, hey, that's what I want to be. And then going into the 90s, that's when I started, going around areas, freestyling, doing little friendly battles with friends of mine, and started off with with the name Dr. G, because I adapted from like NWA, Dr. Dre, and different guys and artists, groups that I like. And then I went on later on to be called Unstable, and then from Unstable to Supreme R.A, because then I realized that I had the ability to put together what I wanted to be, what I know I wanted to be, and I love sports. Sports was my hobby. Sports was my passion. But then music just grew to be my other passion, because I realized, hey, I went around when I was a kid. I tried to sell different products from my school, and I won an award. And the first award that I got from my school is I wanted that sound effect slash keyboard slash recording system. So when I got that, it's like a karaoke with sound effects. It's got everything, and I start doing raps. I start rapping on it, and that was probably in the early '90s. So right there, I had a passion. I knew I had a passion for it because I had, my mom, my pops, or my mom and my biological father could write poetry. They could do those things. I was a kid that wrote books and made up stories about ninjas and different things like that. So I realized that it made me feel good. It was therapeutic. When I had anger problems or I was upset, it would just take that away. It would help me fight my demons, fight my feelings, fight my emotions in different ways by just pinning something down, by just flowing, by just rapping, by just putting words together and manifesting it and expressing my point of view and let it all go. It was therapeutic. It was religious in a way. It was spiritual. So I grew up in the maturity, and then later on, is where you would get Supreme R.A, where I would come into my own around. First, I came off with Supreme Disciple. Supreme R.A is the growth from that. It's like the Thundercats, the Thundercats scenario or whatever you want to put, where the mummy turns into mummer. So Supreme Disciple is a disciple that comes in terms of the Supreme R.A. That happened around 1999, 2000-ish, and then I went on from there and then created Black Law Rebel Music as the owner, and then I have other guys that you mentioned that's at the table as well, that are entrepreneurs and artists and have a big position. And Black Law Rebel Music, we start talking about that around 2007, 2008, and then brought it to fruition. And I dropped my first album. It came out in 2011, I Self Lord and Master, but it actually the album itself was already done in 2007. It was already ready, but I decided to push it back, kept pushing it back, and then I finally released it. But I did have tracks that I had on the radio station. But just to break that down, that's how Supreme R.A, Ruler Allah came about. And the reason why I say it like that, because there's artists that have so many names, and on the radio station, they's like, well, what differentiates you from the other artist that's named Supreme R.A? Well, he doesn't have a dot by the R and a dot behind the A. And that means in the acronym, and it also means in those two letters something else, which means Ruler Allah. His just means Ra. So there is another guy, Paul, that's named that, and that's why I had that extension already of my name, because I remember when I dealt with the radio station, they said, well, y'all can't have the same name. Where it has to be something different, because I didn't add that into it, because if you say him and you say me, it's saying the same thing. So how are we different from each other, where people can go look us up and then find me without finding him, or find him without finding me? Of course, we're cool, because I know he has his own style, he has his own thing he's doing. So peace and many blessings to the other Supreme R.A. But I realized that I have to make it different, because I knew that if you look me up, you got to look me up where my name is different and his name is different. So he doesn't have the R.A. and I have the R.A. and then I have in parentheses the meaning of the R.A. So you can say Ra, Rulala.
Okay, well that is a good story there, and I know you mentioned a couple people a minute ago, like Dr. Dre and stuff like that. Would you say
Yes, sir.
a couple of those people were your influences? Do you have any others that stand out in your mind?
Yes, sir. NWA was a big influence. Legendary. Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ran. All those guys. The DOC, the the Doctor. They came out with his own album. My favorites of all time, of course, is Rakim. Rakim stands to me as the God MC, is the #1 artist of all time. He's basically your favorite rapper's rapper. So anybody that liked Tupac or anybody that liked Nas, these are guys that looked up and was influenced by Rakim. Heavenly. And just like Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane, also Big Daddy Kane, and like I said, LL Cool J, KRS-One, big influence in my life. The Wu-Tang Clan, another big influence in my life. You know, these are guys that really got me up to want to, you know, extend and be something great. And I met a lot of these guys. I met Rakim in person, let him know how much it meant to me, what he contributed and what he did for hip hop. The same thing with guys from Wu-Tang Clan, you know. Peace to those brothers and peace to everybody, you know, in there. And like I said, Big Daddy Kane, let him know. I saluted Big Daddy Kane when I saw him in person. Same thing, did a lot for me. I have yet to meet LL Cool J, and I would let him know just how much he meant to me and what he contributed to the game and to the art, as well as KRS-One and many others, man, that I like today. I like Cannabis, also Nas. Nas was a big influence too. I can't forget to say Nasty Nas. Nas is a legend, a pioneer. For me, he's paved the way for a lot of us. After Rakim, and then, you know, like I said, Nas did big things. So definitely, Tupac is also an artist that I respect and love. He's a legend, one of the all-time greats. These are artists that, you know, that are incredible, and there's many other artists that are incredible. But these are just some of the names that really touched me, where it made me want to take off to another level, man, to another stratosphere. With this hip hop love that I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are a lot of people you mentioned there that I pretty much idolize myself. So
Yes,
some of them I forgot all about, like KRS-One. I mean, I hadn't heard that name in quite a while. So, you know, you were just talking about. I'm sorry.
People don't know. I said people don't know what they're missing, Paul.
Yeah, I know that's right. Well, you had mentioned you came out with an album like in '99, 2000-ish, I do believe you said. And I'm sure that was your first album. You come out with other albums since then, right?
Yes, I've come out with other material. Right now I have, which actually, the first album was released in 2011, which is I Sell Florida Master, which is out on all digital outlets. Also, you can get it at certain stores like the Warehouse of CD Baby or Better Days West, places like that. But it's on all digital outlets. I Sell Florida Master. After that, I released just for my audience, just for my viewers, just for my fans, just for the ones that love what I'm doing. We Are All Witnesses, the mixtape. I released that. That's on digital outlets like DatPiff, Audio Mac, Bandcamp, and then you can also request it by hitting me up on social media and requesting a copy, and we can make that happen. And the long-awaited album, Supreme Ruler I Am, you know, which peace and shout outs to my guy, Imperial Real Rel. He helped me, you know, see that name. I had different names for the album, but we went with Supreme Ruler I Am, which also has something that we'll probably drop later on. I got the Hip Hop Monument, where we paid tribute on that song to all, you know, the legends, the pioneers, the ones that paved the way in the game for us to be where we at, for us to be able to be on this platform and on this amazing art form that's called hip hop. So that's my newest album that I released last year, Supreme Rule I Am, and I also have a host of other singles that are on all digital outlets everywhere: Apple Music, Napster, Amazon, Spotify, Google Play. Anywhere you want to look at, I got singles and I got the albums. They're on there. You can anybody can feel free to go look them up, stream them. If you don't buy it, stream it, and you can download it. I got It's All Over, the first ever single by Black Law Rebel Music with me and Doe Fresh Don. It goes on like that.
Okay. Excuse me. And you got it. I know you said you got it on digital, but can you get physical copies, or can you not get physical copies? Just curious.
Oh yes. All the albums you can get physical copies. We do it by a payment in person. We take cash, checks, or card. So we do that by PayPal, Google Pay, and also that's in stores too. Supreme Ruler I Am. You can get a physical copy at the CD Baby Warehouse. You can order one, or you can go to Better Days West, which is located in Louisville, Kentucky, or you can contact yours truly, Supreme R.A, or you can contact Larry Tall or Doe Fresh Don or Imperial Real and ask for a physical copy, and at that request, we'll be able to send you out a physical copy, and get it to your address or location, and we can, we accept all forms of payments. Online, offline, it doesn't matter. We accept all forms of payments, and somebody they can get their own physical copy.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question about this song we're getting ready to watch. We're going to watch this video in a moment. Why don't you tell me the title of the song and if there's a story behind it and so forth?
Yes, sir. The song we already played is Hip Hop Monument, featuring Imperial Real, Abdul Wakil, and Do Fresh Don, with yours truly, off my album Supreme R.A. This is from every one of us that pay tribute to what hip hop meant to us and does for us. So we narrate, we orators, we break down what it means to us in just those words, and giving them the respect and the admiration and the love, and praising them to the highest for what they accomplished and what they did to help pave the way where people that get into this art form forget about those that went through the struggle, went through the times of the game where it wasn't so great. It wasn't peaches and cream. Now it's easier for artists to get on the platform and do whatever. But we went back to the roots and to the essence of the art form of hip hop and let them know that this is for the culture. You know what I mean? This is for what we do, what we call hip hop. You know what I'm saying? This is not rap. This is not anything else that you want to call and belittle and below. This is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? This is culture. This is arts that came from, poets and lyricists, and letting them know what the concepts and everything that it meant. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, peace to him, he's a legend. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J, Wu-Tang Clan, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Everybody did something great, and they all deserve to be put on that high level and talked about and commemorated for what they contributed to the game and to the art form.
Okay, well, we'll be watching that in just a minute. Sorry. But I guess that's all we really need for now there, Supreme, and we appreciate you coming on the show, and hey, if you got anything new to plug in the future, maybe we'll have you back on and you can plug that for us, and we'd love to have you.
Hey man, I would love to be back on here, Paul. Appreciate you having me, man. This is wonderful, man. Yo, man, you heard it from yours truly. Peace to all world, the culture, all city, all world, Black Law Rebel Music, Supreme R.A, Rula Allah, one love.
Okay. All right, here is Hip Hop Supreme, I think you said the title was? A Monument. Monument. Okay, here's Hip Hop Monument right here up on Mash TV. Don't go away.
Yo, the spark of hip-hop with ciphers going on in the park. You was a shadow in it till you displayed the art. Brought light to it like glow in the dark. Peace to all the legends and pioneers who played their part. Everything has a start. From B-boy to B-girl, breakdancing, boogie down to uptown. Hey Mr. DJ, to the lyricist lounge. Such disputes in the battles, let's see who rocks the crown. A hip-hop and you don't stop. We're the main features. Before you lean back, you was rocking my Adidas. Before I got paid in full, I had to attack the mic like a raging bull. Don't push me close to the edge, cause I ain't no fool. We fight the powers to be, because we drop the truth for the youth. Woo cash rules, choose. Hey young world, one love, so let's pursue. Black Law Rebel Music getting an incredible boost. We got the juice, keeping all elements alive. Stay wise, respect this conglomerate. Hey yo, it's the hip hop monument, you know.
Rather solo projects or tight collaborations, I'ma always strive to exceed your expectations. Our art form, born inside the urban slums. My voice carries the torch with every breath in my lungs. A sport I resort to for self-expression. Words I write invite to peace and fight oppression. My music is a message, it ain't for entertaining, but for the oppressed under great stress, we can complain it. Every song is a vehicle conveying the truth that the Lord sent to resonate inside of the youth. With every every beat of the drum, my humble heart submits. This therapy that heals is as real as it gets, as it hits in the heart of every lover of skill. All artists are brothers, so present what you will, cause none of us are beneath with nobody above. I sign my autograph on the craft that I love. Hip-hop, this movement is a monument. Hip-hop, this culture that we represent. Worldwide in ghettos is predominant. A global art on this earth that we help present. Hip-hop, this movement is a monument. Hip-hop, this culture that we represent. Worldwide in ghettos is predominant. A global art on this earth that we help present.
When I think of hip-hop, I think of Run DMC. With a fresh pair of Adidas on, rocking the beat. Strictly business for this art I love like EPMD. I can't say hip-hop without the God MC. Rock him, make him clap to this. As easy does it in WA, fuck the police all day. Cool G had us thinking on some 456, while LL was needing love on the romance tip. Man, legend after legend left they printing this game. Know they hit him with OPP and things wasn't the same. And there was Pac, Snoop, AZ, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. They would be no real if it wasn't for y'all. Past, present, and future, respect to them all. From the basketball to the yes, yes, y'all. Words through the speaker make a weak man strong. This monument of hip-hop will always live on. It's hip-hop.
Yeah, one time for hip-hop. Common and dead prayers gave me reason to grow. Cash money had me rocking Reed's, tees and Jabos. Too short, Snoop warned me about skeezers and hoes. I studied Jadakiss, is why I'm a beast with the flows. In my opinion, Pac is the greatest, but you'll still see Jay-Z and Nas at the top of my playlist. Dipset was fly, they had me copping the latest. Nobody better than Dougie Fresh when he rocking them statements. Big ups to KRS, Rakim and Kane, cause giving props to other rappers and not them's insane. Bone was unique, had a special gift they were bringing. First time we heard a mix of tongue twisting and singing. Can't forget Big, his influence was heavy. Wu-Tang took over fast and they movement is steady. R.I.P. to the artists in the heavens above. Just thought we paid homage to the legends we love for the culture.
Hip-hop, this movement is a monument. Hip-hop, this culture that we represent. Worldwide in ghettos is predominant. A global art on this earth that we help present. Hip-hop, this movement is a monument. Hip-hop, this culture that we represent. Worldwide in ghettos is predominant. A global art on this earth that we help present.